By Shenanigans Sports Pub.
Hold the mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim fram sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on the side.
Friday, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, streaming on the web, on the YouTube and Facebook channels of South Florida Live, along with being aired at night, the Lunchbox PM, we're calling it now, on WWNN, the Oldies South Florida network, all across your FM radio dial from Broward all the way up to the Treasure Coast, 95.3, 95.9, 96.9, 106.9, 99999. Here we are. It's Friday. I'm a little bit loopy. I'm a little bit here. I got my mug here, Lubie, grumpy, and I'm joined by Mike Lubie Lubitz.
I'm here.
He's always here, but not here today. Still vacationing, still having fun up in Atlantic City, maybe, or is he back? I don't know. I can't keep.
He's back today. I don't know what time, but he's back today.
Yeah, well, the Jeff Defo DeForest off for his birthday week. If I'm the gambling gourmet, he's the globe-trotting gambler, I guess we call, because he's every other week he's on a different continent plunging his guts out. But Jeff Defo DeForest, he sent the picture earlier this week of another Royal Flush hit on one of those video poker machines. I'm still trying to do some forensic analysis. I don't know. I'm kind of getting a little bit more skeptical like you, Lubie, because I was trying to match it up with some of the other ones that he sent earlier, and I couldn't find from the earlier trips whether this one is the exact same screen, but I don't know. He could live in his own fantasy world if that's what he needs to get him through the day and night. And me, I have no such illusions. I got creamed in my poker tournament last night. I'm gonna give it another stab maybe tomorrow, but meanwhile, here I am. It's a Friday. I should be in a happy mood.
Yes.
What kind of mood are you in? Because I know you're having some
stressed out
issues at home, right? What is happening to us? What's happening to the world? It's like it should be a summer weekend. We should all be like chill. We had the great 4th of July last week, which was a great week. It was a great weekend of food and fun and escapism and gambling. And now this week, it just seems like reality is hitting home. Got all these things to attend to. It's just, I'm grumpy, and I should.
See, I'm not grumpy. It's funny. Like when it comes to home ownership, renting, there's always renting sort of sucks because you're paying for someone else's property, right? But at least in the most cases, as long as your landlord doesn't suck, at least you don't have to handle problems. When you own a home, as you know, it's great. You build equity. And right now we built a lot of equity with what the market is. But when things go wrong in the home, which inevitably do, they inevitably happen all at once, which is fun. And you now have to pay a lot of money and deal with a lot of crap. So that's
and then if you think you have insurance, you put in a claim and they say, oh, no, we don't cover that. We just want to take your money. We never want to give you anything.
And that's the thing we've learned is, so I've worked with Horizon Public Adjusters, and it's nothing against them, nothing against the lawyers. It's not even anything against the insurance company. But from what I've been told, is if you try to look, when it comes to a car, they handle it really well. So I've never dealt with home ownership insurance, but talking to people, I've gotten bad stories where, they'll either not pay at all, or if they do pay, it's a long drawn out process. It's a fight. And we don't want to deal with that right now.
Well, nobody wants to deal with a long drawn out fight, but that's their game is, and you know what? I really shouldn't be commenting because I'm in pending litigation now with an insurance company, and my lawyers and adjusters would say, don't say anything about nothing until the case gets resolved. But let's just say
it's annoying.
Let's just say that when originally when you say homeowner, you say, oh great, homeowner, I got ownership instead of renting. But then when you get in a house for a while, it becomes home moaner, M-O-A-N-E-R, where you're bitching and moaning about everything because it just piles up. And the equity is nice, but that's like illusory paper gains. You can't eat the walls, but don't do the other mistake, which is what happened last go around in the early 2000s when the price prices
Get
kept going
stuck.
up and up. No,
Yeah.
and then before the crash came, everybody was using their home as an ATM machine, and let me tell you, that's a bad idea. You don't want to use the
No.
home as an ATM machine because if you still have to pay back the money that you take out from
Yep.
your equity,
Yep.
and if the unthinkable happens and everybody says, "Oh no, this time is different," there's no way the housing market could crash. Let me tell
That's
you
not.
something.
No, that's not.
There is no different. Whatever goes up can always come down.
Well, no,
and
will always come down.
people saying, "Oh, this time is different." There's such a
No.
a tightening of the market. There's such little inventory. There's such a need for all these units, whether they're single family homes or townhouses, and that there's so many buyers flocking in from elsewhere paying all cash that it's not going to be
True.
like last time.
No.
And maybe that's true. And we'll see
Mm,
what happens. But as interest rates go up and insurance premiums go up, and more of your monthly payments have to go towards those things,
Yep.
it leaves less. It's just not affordable. And I guess what I understand about capitalism is supply and demand, and also if everybody's priced out of something, then the price has to come down. Otherwise, nobody can afford it, and then the market is stuck. So, I don't know.
Well,
How
and
do we get into
eventually,
economics?
I don't know. Eventually, inventory does go up, and that's what a lot of the people look. I do real estate on the side. I'm a real estate agent on the side, so I just find it funny. Like a lot of realtors who I guess started after 2008 are in this weird world where they're like, it can only be good. It's like it can only go up. That's not how anything happens in life. Like prices go up, prices go down. Interest
Right.
rates go up, interest rates will go down. That everything's cyclical, just like the economy. Just like look, food costs, just like everything we deal with. Inflation goes up, inflation goes down. Like that's just a part of life. It's just fun. Like I'm not upset. I'm not
Well,
grumpy. I'm just stressed.
you okay, good. That's honest. Trying not to be grumpy, but it's
Yeah.
just got a lot of things going on. But you know what? But it's been a great week.
Yep.
In terms of the lunchbox and you
Yeah,
filling
we
in
had a lot
for
of fun.
Defo. Still having fun. I thought we had a great day yesterday with Visit
Yeah.
Lauderdale and Nikki Mohan at Jackson's. I mean, who doesn't leave there in a good mood? We all had our ice cream, had our hot dogs. It's Hot Dog Month, National Hot
Yeah.
Dog Month. And then a National Ice Cream Month. And again, we got treated royally by Linda and Jerry. It was really good getting to taste all the flavors. And Nikki dove into that strawberry sundae. My God, that was a goblet filled with goodness.
That's
And
great.
I settled for my little dish of the new flavor that they're just calling it caramel chip, which
Good name
is
for
kind
me.
of like it's a combination of dulce de leche, which is kind of the caramel swirl along
Yep.
with some chocolate chips in it. And I think anything that you add chocolate chips to is great.
That's
So
a win.
I enjoyed that, and we enjoyed, and I should be in a good mood because now Nikki. It seems like we've got things in a good flow. We've got our video components going. We're gonna obviously some fine tuning, get my camera a little bit better so there's better lighting in some of these remote locations. But I think I've got things looking mapped out for the whole month of July. It's going to be
Nice.
a good month. We're going to be someplace next week in Hollywood called the Bang Shack, and yes, it has to do with food and nothing untoward.
Ah,
It's
no, but it
it's
sounds interesting. Like what you're talking about with that place. It sounds like a cool, different kind of vibe, different
Yeah,
kind of
no,
flavor.
the guy is who owns it and started it. His name is Jason Hadley. He was on the Shark Tank of all
That's so
things,
funny for a
pitching his
restaurant.
product because he wanted to what he does. He makes this like spicy chicken dip. It's like made with shredded chicken with a little
Have
I
you
don't
ever
know,
had the
like a
buffalo chicken
sour
dip?
cream.
What's it called? Has a
Yeah,
buffalo chicken dip that people love.
yeah. So, but what he does, he created this recipe, and he calls it, the bang, the chicken bang, the chicken, and he started off at that little yellow green farmers market in Hollywood,
Nice.
what we call the food incubator, where there's all these little stalls and stands, and it was just open on weekends. And then, when the COVID came along, he had already made plans to open this brick and mortar place. It's a full
Mm,
scale restaurant, has a nice kitchen, it's beautiful in there, clean, couple of tables. He does a lot of takeout business, but he's created this menu that incorporates his bang dip in every little thing. So he has like a
nice.
bang hot dog where he has a hot dog that spreads the bang dip on top. I had when I was in there yesterday, I tried. He has like a bang pasta, like he tosses the bang dip with little spiral fusilli pasta, and then he puts some broccoli in it. It gives it a little crunch and a little
Ooh.
bit of healthiness. And he also throws some like he crushes up some of the tortilla chips on top to get the crunch. You know me
Nice.
and
I
the
was just gonna
crunch.
say some other crunch would be
Yeah,
good.
and he has like the bang dip burrito is popular with the kids. They love everything burritos. That's why
Yeah.
Chipotle is exploding. And
A monster.
but anyway, it's going to be nice. We're going to spend some time with Jason next week, and it's a small business, husband and wife, mom and pop, black owned business. And again, he's a hustler. He's a really good natural showman and pitchman. And we'll be spending some time with him next week with
Oh, that
visit
hot dog
Lauderdale.
looks ridiculous.
Yeah, visit Lauderdale at the Bang Shack. Now, when you hear Bang Shack, I
Yeah.
flash back to my news columnist days. I remember there was like all these like houses of ill repute in Fort
Oh, God.
Lauderdale. One of them was called the Boom
Bang
Boom
Shack.
Room. I don't remember that
That's
case. There was a guy who was running a place called the Boom Boom Room, and then when I hear
Oh,
Bang
God.
Shack, it kind of no. This is all about food. It's strictly on the up and up. No massages, no happy endings, nothing like that.
No rubber
So,
cuts.
well, I left with a smile on my face, but the only happy ending
Yeah,
was from that plate of pasta and bang bang. So that'll be next week, and then we've got hopefully another ice cream parlor lined up out in the western part of Broward, and then hoping we're going to get into a Peruvian restaurant for the end of the month, July
Nice.
28th. On that Thursday, the 28th is actually Peruvian Independence Day, so it's a good time to go in and check out. Peruvian has become really hot. Hot when it's hot outside because they have all those great, the cold dishes. You get tired of sushi after a while, and when you go to a Peruvian restaurant, you get the ceviches and
Yeah.
the tiraditos, and these are all cold, dishes that are using fresh fish and seafood and
Yep.
different marinades, and they leche de tigre, which is that beautiful like a vinegary juice, and it kind of actually cooks the fish but without actually putting it on a flame or on a stove or anything like that. I love that stuff. Are you and the Cheryl's into the Peruvian foods?
It's funny you say that because I had never really had it before the last few years with Shirley, and there's a place right down the street from us, and there's also another place, a chain that you've heard of, Senor Ceviche, and we love it. Like they do it. Not only they do the ceviches, but they do it's chicken a la gallina and potato a la gallina, where they'll put the potato with this like cheesy cream sauce, and they'll do it with chicken, and they do it over rice, and it's really good. They give you these platters where you can combine the ceviche with some of the fried fishes, and the fish. Even though we're out west, it seems like it's really fresh, and they do a really good job. And they always have a nice crowd. There's a nice vibe to it. The service is
Yeah.
always great. Like we've gone to a few different Peruvian places, and we always have a great time.
Yeah, no, then those pisco sours are nice too. I love going, to these
Another
South
drink.
American joints, and you get all the different kinds of beverages and things that are a
There you
little
go.
bit different from what you just see at the American bars. And the pisco sour is the Peruvian drink. And of course, you go to a Brazilian restaurant, they got the caprahinas.
Caprina.
Those hit me hard. But yeah, so looking forward to that. And the nice part about a Peruvian place too is because you could go with the kind of cold the fish seafood dishes like the ceviches, but like you said, a lot of them they also have a lot of beef dishes. A lot of them
Yeah.
do like those because there's so much of a Chinese and Asian Japanese influence in
Fried rice. They
Peru.
have a fried rice. It's
Fried
really good.
rice. The Nikkei is the other cuisine that's a blend of both the Peruvian and Japanese. There's a place down in Miami, Itame, that's run by the Chang Gang. It's a brother and sister and their father, and they started off in this food hall, and now they have a brick and mortar also in Midtown Miami. But Itame has like been the darling of all the critics, and I love them too. They have these great tiraditos and other dishes, and people thought they might get a Michelin star full blown. They ended up settling for what they call the Bib Gourmand, which the Michelin people hand out to restaurants that are still like affordable and not the fanciest, but that are doing good work with good food. And glad to see them get some recognition. But that's the Nikkei, the Peruvian Japanese influence at Itame in Miami. But yeah, there's all these other Peruvian mom and pops all over. I mean, it's funny because like 15,
Yeah, it's
20 years
exploded.
ago, you didn't see any really
Nope.
Peruvians around, particularly in Broward. And now it seems like there's one on every other block, and it's a welcome addition. But yeah, the fried rices.
Yeah.
They also have a lot of them have a pasta dish that they do like pasta with some shreds of tenderloin. So yeah, it's like all kinds of influence that you see in South America between the European, Italian, the Chinese, the Japanese. So yeah,
And they do a
that's
good
why.
job at like making it family oriented, and they do a lot of price wise because we talk a lot about price here in accordance with quality. They really range the prices really well. I mean, between the appetizers to the entrees to the desserts to the drinks, they actually make it, I would say, affordable while still getting a really high quality.
Yes, totally affordable. And again, that's what a lot of these places. Once you get out of the touristy districts, whether you're in Fort Lauderdale on the beach or Las Olas or up in let's
Wow.
say Boca, Meisner, or Atlantic Avenue and Delray Beach, those are the touristy spots where again, the rents are so high, so then
I was
the
gonna say.
the prices on the menus follow accordingly. But if you get out into the neighborhoods and the little
Yeah.
side streets, and not even side streets, I mean major thoroughfares, like up
Yeah.
near you, you go on Sample Road, and
Yep.
near me, 441 is just the home of all these little mom and pop,
Yes.
and you could get some really good deals. Good meals for good deals, because yeah, it's the rents are much more affordable, and it's easier to price your menu items at $12 and $14 instead of 25 and $28, when your rent is only 4,000 a month instead of 20,000 a month. So it's,
Exactly.
again, there we go with our economics again. Who knew
Oh.
that the lunchbox was going to turn into macroeconomics 101?
No, but look, I
Right.
think it has a lot to do with what your expectation is. It's not, there's nothing wrong with paying a lot of money for food, but when you pay more for food, you have higher expectations. To me, what I find is when the menu prices drop, I seem to be way more open minded in what my experience is. So I don't have a problem. Look, again, we went to Steak 954. It's pricey. There's nothing wrong with it. And they met and exceeded our expectations. But to me, and price doesn't always get into it for everyone. For me, look, I'm Jewish. We're not cheap, but price always mattered. Like I was always raised with that. Not everyone has that, and I get people. I can't wait for the day that I don't look at the price. But I'm not gonna lie, I do. And in this day and age, everyone does. So to me, if you can somehow have high quality and have affordable prices, that's such a win. That look, that's why we like Roadhouse a lot. It's a chain, but they've been really good
Now,
at maintaining their prices.
and you brought me to the exact point I was going to make, is that foodies turn up their noses at chains, and they say, oh, I don't want to go to chain, I want to just. And I
Depends.
look, I prefer supporting the
Local.
locals and the mom and pops, but the reality is chains employ a lot of local people,
Yep.
and they're managed by locals, and there's a reason that chains get popular, is because they offer consistency, which is a big deal. When you have these corporate protocols in place, the consistency, and because they buy volume, they're able to get a lot of their products cheaper, and
Yep.
that gets passed along in terms of more affordable pricing on the menus. So it all goes hand in hand. Look, there's some chains that I like a lot better than others. I really got to get into a Texas Roadhouse because I'm hearing nothing but good things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not one near me, because where my neck of the woods is in the
The
southeast
Miramar one's
Broward.
pretty cool. We'll have to get the Miramar one actually has like an on the water area, which most of them
Okay,
don't.
is it by
And
like I-75? That
it's
whole
right off of 75. So if we
yeah.
can get you, it's super out west compared to you, and
You
I get
you
it,
know
but
what I call that area when
the
you
swamp
go?
land, is that what people
No, I
call
call it Nebraska. It's like I'm going all the way through.
it?
Why am
People
I
calls
going to
it
the
the Everglades.
Midwest? I came here to be on the ocean and see the
I know.
beautiful,
I
the
know.
water and the intracoastal, and you go out there and you see swamps and bugs the
Well, I
size
got to
of
give you credit too. That
helicopters.
I don't know the Dania area well, but because we were over there, and I didn't realize you said it's so close to where you live in Dania. The Dania area has come up a lot. Like
Oh yeah.
it looks really cool being over there. Like I actually was driving on my way home, and I'm like, what is going on here? This place seems
Well,
super fun.
they're in the midst of a wave of development. For a long time, it was stuck in the past and stuck
Yeah.
back in time, and it was known as the antique capital of, the Florida, because that whole antique row was up and down Federal Highway when I first moved here. And it was great if you were into buying dead people stuff and, uh, and just going to antiquing and hoping to find the next big score for Antiques Roadshow or something. But all those places, almost all of them are gone. They've made way for that whole corridor now has become nothing but like hotels for serving the airport and the port. So much of the cruise traffic that came in, and again, things got scuttled a little bit during COVID, but they're back. I mean, the tourists are back, and all those businesses up and down the block, like my friend I was talking about. Oh, how are those mango donuts, by the way? Did you get to
So
eat them?
we've actually been. It's something we say in Yiddish, salvating them, uh, because Shirley is such a huge mango person, even though she doesn't like donuts. Last night, we didn't connect till last night, and I'm like, you know what Mayo did for us? She's like, what? I was like, he got his mango donuts. She's like, what do you mean? And I explained the whole thing, and she's like drooling. And it
Right.
was late, so we didn't get to eat it. But she's like, let me smell it, because that's what's how you know it was fresh. Like you could
Yeah,
smell the mango in the
Keith,
freaking
the
donut.
baker, yeah, he gets mangoes from his garden, or from his front yard, and he brings them in, and he peels them, and he chops them up, and he mashes them up, and he mixes it with the little creme brulee mix, and then he pipes them into the middle of these
Oh my
donuts,
god!
and then he bakes them, and then he glazes them. It's a mango creme brulee donut. So, what does this mean? You're going to save it for the
I'm
weekend?
saving for the end of the week. Like it's been a really
Okay.
stressful week for both of us. It's been hectic. We've been working really hard. So I wanted, instead of having champagne, I wanted cheers with the donut and finish up. I wanted to get through the show today. I wanted to get through all the fun things.
Do you have it in the fridge and then you nuke
I have
it?
it
Or
in no,
what's the technique for that? I don't
I
even
have
know.
it in an actual Tupperware
Okay.
because I didn't want to mess with that, but I didn't want to put it in the fridge just yet because I figure we'll eat it today.
Okay.
And you made a good tip. It's what I was either going to do, air fryer or oven, the toaster oven. Do a quick little zap.
Yeah.
Just to try and
get
bring
that
it back to
crunch
life.
going. I would say toast. I would say maybe like 10 seconds in the microwave and then put it on a light toast in the toaster oven and get that crunchy creme brulee where he
Creme brulee.
torches it. Maybe get that torch crunch going again. Like I've never had the issue of storing or figuring out how to reheat these mango donuts because it never makes it usually past the front door
Past your
shop.
car.
But it reminds me, like on actually July 4th, the morning of July 4th, I ate my last. My daughter, they went down to that Nowsbury farm in Homestead.
Oh no!
That was
the
back
best.
in the spring break. They
Okay.
got me like a half
Cinnamon buns?
dozen of those cinnamon
Oh
rolls.
my god!
And like the glutton in me wanted to just down all 6 at once, but I actually
no.
I parsed them out and I put them because people said, oh, they freeze real well, and I put them in Tupperware, put it in the freezer, and then like once every so often I would grab one and just stick it in the microwave, like zap it for like 20 seconds followed by another 20 seconds, and they come out warm and gooey. I had the last one of those on Monday on July 4th to celebrate the holiday. It was great. And so I guess the mango donuts, you could do the same thing. So good luck with that. But anyway, getting back to my point, Keith was telling me that his business is booming even in the summer more than ever because he's on the delivery apps like Uber Eats. And as much as they hate the delivery apps because they take 30% of the whatever the order is, Uber Eats takes a 30% commission.
Golly.
But what smart restaurants do is make customers, guests pay for the convenience. So he boosts the menu prices that appear on Uber Eats, and people, they don't care. So he's saying all these hotels up and down this corridor now, especially with the cruise passengers and traffic, they order in breakfast, and it's really, it's like less than a mile away. It gets there quick, it gets there hot. They get a dozen donuts, and he's saying this is turned into a really nice business. It's been there about for 6 years at this point.
Wow, good for him.
And again, fine dining pastry chef who used to work all hours in these fancy restaurants and have to be there till the last course was served, and it's basically until midnight. Now he has a schedule where he has to come in and bake early some days, 3 a.m, but then he basically is there just until noon. He cuts out and he has the rest of the day to himself. He's got a family guy and all that, but good to see businesses like that thriving. And you're right, Dania's is nothing but construction cranes, and that new Dania Point complex is doing really well. Hey, speaking of Dania, we'll put in the good word for our friends at Tropical Acre Steakhouse. That's talking about not the newfangled Dania, but that's old school Dania. And we love them because Tropical Acre Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, located at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, west of 95 and the airport. But they've been a South Florida institution for as long as Defoe's been alive. Actually, longer. Been around since 1949. And my math says that's like almost 73 years at this point. Great place for steak, seafood, so much more. Old school hospitality from the Studiali family. They will treat you like a VIP, whether it's your first time or your 400th time. And don't forget, every weeknight in the summertime, Monday through Friday, the Twin Lobster specials. You can't beat that deal. 2 steamed whole live Maine or Nova Scotia lobsters for $35, and that includes a salad and a side dish. You can't find that type of deal at any other steakhouse. Go to Tropical Acres. You can also get all the other mouthwatering favorites like filet mignon and the prime rib and the rack of lamb. It's one of my favorite places. Tropical Acres. Half price wine Monday and Tuesday. Early bird special 4:30 to 5:30. Happy hour in the bar 4:30 to 6:30. Open every day but Sunday. Go in there and tell them the Lunchbox, Mayo, Defoe, and Lubie sent you.
This is Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, our weekender. The last time, at least for a while, hopefully. No Defoe, just Mayo and me. You'll get Defoe back Monday. You'll get more of us on 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, WWNNTalkRadio.com, and of course, South Florida Live on YouTube, Facebook. Just look up South Florida Live or at SoFly Live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. More of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox on 1470 WWNN and South Florida Live next.
You like really good seafood, but maybe not in a fancy place? Even Keel Fish Shack. That's the place for you. I know it's the place for me, too. It's at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. It is a place for elevated food in a casual beachfront setting. They have good drinks. They got a great vibe. Chef owners, Brad and Dave, they come from a fine dining background. They had the original Even Keel Fish in Fort Lauderdale, but they moved over to this place in the last year. It is perfect. They're open every day for lunch and dinner. They also have brunch Friday through Sunday at noon. They have drink specials every day. They have happy hour 4 to 7 Monday through Friday. Some of the greatest deals around. You got the grilled oysters, 4 of them for $5. You can't beat that. All their food, the grilled octopus, the bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls. They have fish specials. They also have burgers and hot chicken sandwiches for the landlubbers out there. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack. Tell them Mayo and Defoe sent you.
If you're looking for an honest place with great food and tremendous value, Costa's Greek Eatery and Pizzeria is the place for you. It's in Pompano Beach at 1940 Northeast 49th Street. It's just west of Federal Highway, just north of Sample Road, and it has not become my spot for Greek specialties like gyros, souvlaki, spinach pies, and pastitsio, that's the Greek lasagna, and also thin, crisp New York-style Greek pizza. You got to go try some of their specialty pies like the gorgonzola and spinach. Oh, it's worth a special trip. Costa is a great guy. He has Queens, New York roots, but he's been in business in Broward for a long time. He's a great guy. He'll throw a plate, say Opa, and greet and treat you like long-lost relative. Costa's is open every day for lunch and dinner. They're on all the major delivery apps. You can also dine in or take out. Go to Costa's Greek Eatery and Pizza, where everyone is family. Hey, it's Mike Mayo for my friends at Visit Lauderdale. This summer, enjoy the good life for less in Greater Fort Lauderdale with Lauder Deals. Great deals on dining, hotels, attractions, spas, and more, all summer long. Start planning your summer getaway online at visitlauderdale.com/deals and see all the ways you can save. From miles of golden beaches to food and drink specials to pampering at celebrated resorts, your dream summer vacation awaits. Shop Lauder Deals now at visitlauderdale.com/deals. And we're back here on a Friday pre-weekend edition of the Lunchbox. Mike Mayo, Mike Lubie, Lubitz, no Defoe. Hopefully he'll be back on Monday. If he doesn't hit any more big jackpots, then we might not see him for a while. But here we are. We're going into another weekend. It is hot outside. I'm ready to jump into a pool or a cool vat of water or something like that. Here we are. You know, it's funny. It slipped my mind. We were talking about insurance and all the travails of that earlier. I forgot to mention one of the big refrains, and, you know, people are complaining about food costs and going out to eat going up so much, and it's not just because the actual food is going up, and also labor costs are going up, and but also the restaurant's insurance is going up, and obviously they pay rent, and rent. You don't think of them. The restaurants don't necessarily have to pay for property insurance unless they own their own land, but what they do have to pay for, and what's been skyrocketing, and I've been hearing this story from a lot of different restaurant owners, is they have to carry liability insurance in case there's a slip and fall or an employee gets hurt on the job, besides workers' comp, but for any kind of potential accidents that happen. Yep. And I've heard some horror stories lately about how the price of liability insurance is like doubled, or in some cases tripled. I've heard, where it used to be $20,000 a year, for their $1 million policies for each incident. And
Yeah.
that's, and I've heard from, somebody that actually had a couple of claims put in against them from customers that had incidents. And, next thing you know, it's going from 20,000 to $65,000 a year. I heard one that it was also like there's no claims against them, but the premiums for the liability insurance went from 20,000 to 40,000 a year.
With no
So
claim.
it's like, and it's like, man, that's a heavy duty load, and that cuts into their profit margins. And then they have to try to start, a lot of people complaining on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group about, oh, they're nickel and diming and they're raising the cost of this, and now there's a takeout charge for that. And I always say just build everything into your main menu price.
Yep.
And people don't notice it. But once you start putting on all these little ticky-tack extra charges, like 75 cents for a to-go setup, for takeout,
extra
utensils,
sauces,
for extra sauces,
cheese,
or it's charging, the 3 or 4% surcharge for using a credit card instead of cash, because, that is a charge that, every time you use a credit card, people don't realize there's a swipe fee that the business has to pay. And obviously, in order to boost their revenue, they have to take credit cards, but now they're passing it along. And again, I say just build it into the menu prices overall. And, and then, if you want, give a cash discount instead of adding on a surcharge. But all these little things are caused by things like the liability insurance going up. And I don't want to blame lawyers because, but a lot of these big companies like Morgan & Morgan, they go out and advertising aggressively, and they know where to find the big pockets. And like if something happens on a sidewalk, it might be a city sidewalk, but in front of a restaurant property, and the restaurant might have a table set up outside. And then the lawyers say, oh, well, this area it should be covered by the restaurant's insurance. And then they go after a restaurant, even though it might happen on technically a public sidewalk. I don't know and pretend to know all the laws. All I know is that when you have a lawyer and they're looking for money, they know how to find money. Now, again, there has to be a basis for these cases in the law. Yeah. So I'm not saying anybody is abusing the law, but I'm just saying that when everybody is trying to, find all these loopholes, it's going to drive up the price and the cost, and the insurance companies pass it along to the insured, and then the insured pass it along to customers. But just one more reason why I'm in a grumpy mood this morning.
Well, what's interesting is that you brought up a good point, and it's something I know in America we can't give credit to other places, but you've been a world traveler. We travel. It's something Shirley talks about a lot. When you see tax at the end of a thing, or you see this surcharge at the end of a thing,
VAT, value added tax, they call it. VAT.
They don't do that over there. Like what they'll do is they give you a price, and that's what you pay. You don't.
But it's all included in the price. That's
exactly.
The thing.
It's there. It's not that you're not paying it, but you don't. Whatever price you see, you want to just pay what you see. That's how people are. You want to pay what you see. When you tell me to add stuff after, it gets frustrating. Over there, they don't do that. If something says $15, it's $15. Yeah, obviously it probably was 10, and they added in with the servers, and they added in this and that, but it doesn't matter. You don't know that. You don't see that. You see your price. You pay. Here it says 12. So you think 12 and then ends up being $17.50. And it's like, why? What was that $5.50? Like, where did that come from? Like I actually do enjoy over there. Whatever the menu says is what I'm paying. Whereas here you have to do like an extra, and I'm not good at math. It's why I do radio. That's why I do streaming, because I don't want to do freaking the Pythagorean theorem. Like, but every time you go out to eat, it's like, okay, will there be a charge for the tipping, because they want to include that sometimes. And it's like, just tell me what I'm paying and I'll pay. I don't even care. Just let me know.
Right. And no, but one of the nice parts when you do go overseas is, they do have the basically there is no such thing as tipping, because they pay the servers, they're considered professionals, and they pay them a living wage, and they build it all in. I don't know how they are able to build all those things, including the tax, the value added tax, and still basically things are reasonable over there. And people who travel overseas now, I had a friend that was just in Spain and Portugal. He said, oh, we ate like kings, and it was like only 80 euros for two of us. And my daughter and baby mama Michelle just spent a week at a Mexican resort outside of Tulum, and She was saying they went off property one night to a Italian restaurant. My daughter was saying they had a really nice meal, and it was also like it only worked out to maybe 75 American dollars, a meal that would cost 100 or 200, I mean 150 or $200 here in town. So I don't know what's happening. It seems like you talk about America's number one, and we have a great quality of life, we have great technology, but you wonder what's going on. And this is not political, and I'm not blaming anybody who's president now or was president before. I mean, economics are usually divorced from politics, but everybody always conflates the two and blames it on the president because it's always the easiest thing to do. I guess blame Harry Truman. The buck stops here, so everybody always points to the president. I don't know what the answer is. All I know is that a lot of people are hurting. We're heading, I don't want to be glum, but it seems like all signs do point to some economic I don't want to say recession, but probably
downturn, whatever.
Downturn. You can see the writing on the wall, and that again, when trillions of dollars disappear in the market value and in all this cryptocurrency that never existed to begin with, people feel poorer when they have less imaginary wealth. So and that translates to less spending. I don't know how we get out of it. Maybe some just go out for a nice good value meal this weekend. And hey, talking about deals and trying to save money. This is why we love being paired up with Nikki and the Visit Lauderdale folks, because right now Lauderdeals is going on. So this summer you can enjoy that good life for less in Greater Fort Lauderdale with Lauderdeals, and that's great deals on dining, hotels, attractions, spas. I mean, who doesn't need a good day of relaxation at one of these great hotel day spas? You go in for a little facial or a massage, deep tissue. I need that. Maybe that's what I need to turn it all around. But you can get all those great deals all summer long. So start planning the summer getaway or the staycation online at visitlauderdale.com/deals and see all the ways that you can save. Find the great hotel deals on everything from the luxury beach resorts to family-friendly suites. Indulge in the food and drink specials at local restaurants, bars, and breweries. Shop Lauderdeals for exciting attractions like Flamingo Gardens and Butterfly World. Plus, if you're a Florida resident, a first responder, or in the military, you'll find even more savings just for you. So from miles of golden beaches to pampering at celebrated hotels, spas, and resorts, the good life awaits in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Shop Lauderdeals now at visitlauderdale.com/deals and plan your best summer ever.
Well, Nikki said something, I know when we get back, we'll talk more here on the Lunchbox, but she said, was talking about something yesterday, and she's talked about this before, that it actually hit home with me. I'm born and raised here. And she was like, but we want to get people who live here to discover Fort Lauderdale. And I was like, that's actually sort of true. Like I live here, but I don't really go and see the sights and sounds. I don't really look. We live down the street from Butterfly World, literally down the street. We have nephews. We never even think to go to friggin' Butterfly World.
It's good for just a little getaway. You get to see all those pretty butterflies. It just it's instant meditation. It's beautiful. I love it.
So it's really cool what they have doing, and that's another thing is if you don't know what's out there, Visit Lauderdale does. So they have really good partnerships. They can give you really good deals, and visitlauderdale.com is where you want to go and get those deals. More of the Mike Mayo's Lunchbox here on South Florida Live, 1470 WWNN, 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM. WWNNtalkradio.com. Check us out each and every night there at 8 p.m. and check us out live each and every day at 12 o'clock right here on South Florida Live. Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. More coming up next.
When people come to me and say, Mike, where's a great place for dinner? I got friends visiting from out of town. Where am I going to take them? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It is a Fort Lauderdale perennial. They serve the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly setting. Service there is impeccable. Joey Esposito and his better half, Sally, they've been running the place for more than 2 decades. It's been there since the 1980s. It has some great food. They just recently expanded. They have a great bar. You could sit there if you're by yourself. You go in there with a date or your better half, and you can have a nice, cozy table for 2. You can go in with a big group and have a great festive time. They have great sangria. They have paella. They have shrimp with garlic sauce. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. It's open Monday through Saturday at 5 p.m. for dinner. They are closed on Sundays, but please go to Cafe Seville. You won't be disappointed. Tell them Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like wings? Do you like burgers? Do you like ribs? Do you like late night food? All this and more at Shenanigans. There's 2 locations. East side is at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. And then there's the original in Hollywood, right across from TY Park on Sheridan Street. Pat Utter and his crew, they've been doing it a long time, almost 30 years, and they do a great job. It's a neighborhood place with a casual feel, really good food, good value. They have drink specials every day, beer, coldest on draft. Anytime that you want, the late night food, the kitchen is going until past midnight, both locations. They have outdoor dining if you need it too. Shenanigans is my place to go. You could also call up for a pickup right through a drive-through window on the east side. That's at 954-923-3008, 954-923-3008 for your takeout, pickup. Go to Shenanigans and tell them Mayo and Defo sent you. And we're back on a Friday edition of the Lunchbox. Mayo and Lubie coming at you from our respective man caves or something like that, getting ready for the weekend. He's trying to get some, I guess he's got roof work going on, old testing and all that fun stuff. I've just got all the usual three-wing circus going on between mom and daughter and Dick Steen. But so the... we got the spots that we just did for Seville. I'm psyched. I'm going to drop by Joey's tonight. I got to see him. Going to maybe have a little nice light fish dish. That's, I think, another reason why I'm in a grumpy mood is I was telling the story earlier on the Gambling Gourmet segment of the Defo show, but I was at the Hard Rock last night playing a little poker, and they came around, and food service wise, they did this like takeout service from the Bowl, which is the Asian restaurant that is generally pretty good. But I ordered a clunker of a dish. I got these the Singapore noodles that came in. It was like greasy and overcooked, and even in the middle, I said, "This is not good," and I didn't eat the whole thing. Which for me is, I've been feeling lousy all morning, so I don't know. I can't blame it on the food. There's no cause and effect. All it is sequential. All I know is I ate that, and I just feel lousy today. I'm a little bit nauseous. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's just my advanced age. But it's just but food does. Obviously, sometimes you can eat something that sets you off in the wrong direction, and it could be just one bad little piece of vegetable. A lot of times, people are quick to blame it on meat, shrimp or seafood or meat, but a lot of times the biggest culprit can be vegetables that are not properly washed or handled or a little bit old. But here I am on a negative tangent. We're supposed to be pumping up the fun, and so I'm gonna see Joey later. We had the spot for Shenanigans and love Pat Utter over at Shenanigans, both east side and west side. I got to get in there again at some point. They're going to be celebrating the actual 30th anniversary of his first, the Shenanigans that opened right across from TY Park in Hollywood. That's going to be in August. And that's quite the milestone, and it's huge. So it's good for him. And I'm going to be seeing Dick Steen. Did I talk about Batch? That was this morning with you.
This morning, talk about Batch, but I am intrigued. And if you've looked at the menu, where you're, okay, let me ask.
I don't know, because like right now, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, well, two things. First, physically, food can affect you, but what I've seen in my life, like, eating a good meal can set you in such a good mood, whereas the same thing is eating a meal that you're disappointed in, even if you consciously don't think about it anymore, it just sort of sits with you. So I get like that meal could have just set you in a weird mode. Like you were looking forward to it.
It wasn't satisfying. When I got home, I had like just a half a bagel because I needed something to get the taste out of. Just needed like some breading of base of that. And even though I didn't need any more calories or carbs, that's what I did because that's how I roll. But yeah, you're right. The best part of it though was, it usually goes for about like $28 with tax and tip by the time they bring it to you. But I handed them my player's card, and I didn't realize that I have points on there. Like you could use your points for the food, and I also gave them a credit card in case there wasn't enough points. But they came back and they said, "Oh yeah, you had enough points, so this was all." So
what that says.
Even though usually Defo, his favorite meal in the whole world is a Comp Casino meal. It doesn't matter what's in it or how it tastes. But for me, it didn't go down the best, and that's it. We'll have.
Well, and the other question I had for you, because again, that's why I love doing this show, because everyone thinks I'm Mr. Sports, and I love my sports, but my wife, as she knows, when I go on a trip, the food's the most important thing to me. So food's such a big part of my life as it is, of course, everyone's life. When you're going to eat as the critic guy, the guy that even when he eats a fun meal, you're still analyzing it. Do you look at if you know where you're going ahead of time and it's like a plan, do you look at the menu ahead of time? Like,
That's
do
a
you
good
actually
question.
diagnose it? Because my Shirley makes fun of me for doing this. She's like, just go and enjoy yourself. I'm like, no, I want to
Yeah,
know what
where's
you
the
had. I want to get ready.
spontaneity? Yeah, no, it's funny because now that I've become a civilian again, I do enjoy the spontaneity and not doing any research or
Prep.
pre-planning or figuring out what I have to get here and what's the signature dish and blah blah blah. I just go and show up and feel like, say,
Good
what
for
do I
you.
feel like eating? Now I'm going up to meet Dickstein later today. We got some work to do on Best of Delray, and we're meeting somebody for a late lunch up at this batch gastro pub that they have one in Delray. There's one in Fort Lauderdale, one in Miami, one in West
Yep.
Palm Beach now. Again, it's like this new Southern cuisine, but it's a lot of fried foods. They got the fried chicken sandwiches and other things. Right now, just saying the word fried chicken, I know we were talking about earlier this week, it's kind of setting me off. I'm thinking like a nice, like cool salad, maybe with a couple of chunks of
Like
chicken,
grilled chicken.
with
Or
the
maybe
grilled chicken. That might be in my future today, but that's not what the specialty is there. And it's like I
No.
always want to go with the specialty at a place, and so I'm going to be facing another conundrum, and I hate conundrums. So anyway, hey, let's avoid conundrums. Let's talk about Costas because we're going to be
Yes.
heading there this Tuesday.
Yes.
I gotta get in touch with Costa and
Please.
Brad and just confirm that we're on for our once a month Tuesday visit to Costas Greek Eatery and Pizzeria. And for you, it should be more than once a month. And Defo, I know,
Yeah.
has been getting in there a lot
Weekly.
because he's loving the pizza and the Greek food there. 1940 Northeast 49th Street in Pompano Beach, just west of Federal Highway, across from that big Walmart Supercenter, about a mile north of Sample Road. It is an honest place with great food, tremendous value. They have Greek specialties like the gyros and the souvlaki, spinach pie, moussaka, grape leaves, the stuffed tomates. They're so big, they're bigger than your face.
Yeah,
It's
they're amazing
really
there.
packed full of goodness. And they're also renowned for their pizza. He calls it like a Greek pizza, New York style Greek pizza.
It was great to
I
me,
just
whatever
call
he
it
calls
good
it.
pizza. And again, it's got all the different toppings. They got a spinach gorgonzola pie specialty that gives a little Greek twist, along with the good cup pepperoni. It's approved by Mr. One Bite Pizza himself. He was in there earlier this year, gave it the big thumbs up.
Yep.
So go into Costas Greek Eatery Pizzeria, check out all their offerings, and you could order takeout and delivery from their website. That's CostasGreekEateryPizzeria.com. Costas with a K, GreekEateryPizzeria.com. They're open every day. Bring the family and your appetite. Tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
This is Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. You can check us out each and every day at 8 p.m. We're still on the radio dial, 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, WWNNTalkRadio.com. If you are in the digital space, well, check us out each and every day live, 12 p.m. right here on South Florida Live on YouTube, on Facebook, or just Google South Florida Live right here, Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. More coming up next right here on South Florida Live and 1470 WWNN.
Hey, it's Mike Mayo here for my friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, 2500 Griffin Road, just west of 95 in Dania and Fort Lauderdale. They've been there a long time, over 70 years, the Studiali family. They know how to take care of you. They have steaks, seafood, and so much more. It's old school hospitality and a relaxed, nice setting. They have the bar. They have Monday, Tuesday half-price wine night. They have all kinds of great specials. And they also have a butcher shop now that you could buy your meats anytime, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Throw it on the grill at home. They're great cuts of meat like the filet mignon, 10-ounce barrel cut, all kinds of goodies there. And, of course, the dining room, it can't be beat. They have the early bird special every day at 4:30 to 5:30. They're open daily except Sunday until 10 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and tell them Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like pizza? I mean, who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. A little bit hard to find in that Riverside Park neighborhood, but totally easy to love. They've got Connecticut New Haven style of pizza in a wood-fired brick oven. It's run by a team of Wade and Reese. They opened about a year ago. It's a great place. Great pizzas, subs like chicken parms, meatball appetizers, salads, very relaxed setting, casual, outdoors, all outdoors, picnic tables. You won't even feel like you're in Fort Lauderdale. Go there. They have pickup, takeout. Call 754-779-7788. That's 754-779-7788. Pizza Spot. They're open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them that Mike Mayo and Defo sent you. And we're back to wrap up another week of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox with Lubie,
Yes, sir.
along with the absent Defo, who will be back Monday.
Yep.
Just in time. I'm really struggling today, Lubie. I don't know what's happening. All of a
You're
sudden, like,
almost there.
throat
We're, like,
is closing
dying.
up. I feel like I'm nauseous.
Oh
I'm like
my
my
God.
eyes are tearing. I don't know what's
Oh my
happening to me.
God.
I'm having a physical reaction to life. And
Welcome. That's
I
every day
just
for me.
wanted to wrap up this week as
Almost
soon
there,
as
my friend.
possible. No,
Almost
we're
there.
almost there.
You're
Hey, one
almost
last
there.
thing, since we've gotten into all these
Yeah.
other things, and I gotta just one of the like evergreen topics that always sets off debate on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group
Yeah.
is the whole issue of dogs inside restaurants.
Oh God.
I don't have any problem with dogs being out on a patio area. But something strange happened earlier this week. And again, I'm one of those people, I go along and get along. And it bothers me a little if you're in like a fancier place and they bring the dog like right up to the bar and they put him up in the seat and then they like give him the little doggy dish or something. I mean, like keep them down on the floor.
Yeah.
Some restaurants have become more stringent, and it has to be a certified service dog. But something happened this week that was odd. It was like a place that I went in and it wasn't crowded. It was kind of like off peak, and I was in grabbing a little late bite, and the a young couple came in with a dog. I guess it looked like some sort of mixed breed, and maybe a little pit bull in there. And they said, "Is it okay to bring in the dog?" And I had no problem. The owner just looked; it was empty. He goes, "Yeah, sure, come on in." And they ordered, and the dog was as pleasant and friendly as could be. Looked really happy. And then when the food was ready, the owner came over with some food. And the dog just out of a sudden just like started snapping. He started barking and growling and actually lunged up at the owner and bit.
What?
And he didn't get the owner, but got that he was wearing a side towel along his, and basically the dog got the towel and like ripped the towel down.
What?
And the couple was horrified, and they immediately like apologized, and they got up with their food that was in takeout containers, and they just said, "We're sorry," and they walked out, and then they like ate. It was an outside table, and then the dog actually, there's a passerby or somebody walking, and the dog like went at them too. And it's just like they were saying, this hasn't happened before. Like, I don't know, but it's like one of these things where if your dog has behavioral issues, or then you got to just keep that dog at home, or get him some obedience training. It was very off-putting, and is like, and the owner was like, "Man, you're trying to be friendly and try to let people do what they want," and and then something like that happens. So it just goes to show that dogs they're not people, they're not family members, and I mean, a lot of people consider them family members.
It's fine, but I mean, come on.
But you got to know your limits, and if that you have an animal that's a little bit of a problem, just keep them away and out of danger, because then those insurance rates are going to go up again for all of us.
Exactly.
So, all right, that's the moral of the story. We're going to do it again next week.
Yes,
thanks
sir.
everybody for tuning in. We had a fun post 4th of July holiday week. And we made it to the finish line. For Mike Lubie Lubitz and the absent Jeff Defo DeForest, thanks for tuning in to the Lunchbox. This is Mike Mayo saying, enjoy every weekend and enjoy every sandwich.